to the Brett Batchelder Show. My name is, of course, Brett Batchelder. And on today's episode, we've got three exciting topics to talk about. One, I'm going to tell you guys who I feel had the best draft for the AFC. We also have a special guest coming on, Paul Liakis, to discuss the hot topic in sports right now, The Last Dance, starring Michael Jordan. We'll talk about how he would fare in today's NBA. And we also have some interesting news coming out of Major League Baseball. How they plan on tackling their 2020 season is very interesting, and we'll talk about it. All right, everyone. Today we are starting a new four-part series, picking a winner and a loser in each conference for the 2020 NFL Draft. And because we like to start things off on a positive note here on the Brett Batchelder Show, we'll start with the winner in the AFC. But first, just a little bit on my criteria. I'm not going to hand out an actual letter grade. We don't really have the ability to grade these drafts for at least 2 to 3 years following them. We don't know how they pan out. I'm just going to pick who I think had the best value and who helped their team the most immediately. Who's going to have the most immediate impact for their teams. And with that, my AFC winner in the 2020 NFL Draft is the Baltimore Ravens. I love what the Ravens did in this draft. In the first round, they went out and got stud linebacker out of LSU, Patrick Queen. And anytime the Ravens draft a linebacker early on, you got to feel good about it. Look at Ray Lewis, T. Sizzle, C.J. Mosley. They have a great track record of drafting linebackers. I trust what they're doing. You should too. And they didn't just get one linebacker. They used one of their 4 third-round picks to go out and get Ohio State linebacker Malik Harrison. They double-dipped at the position. I love the value they got there. Amazing job. You know what they did in the second round? The second round, I think they got the best running back in the draft. And running backs seem to have the easiest transition going from college to the NFL game. What do the Ravens do best? They run the football with Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram. They may have upgraded at that position at running back, bringing in J.K. Dobbins, making it all the more difficult to stop that run. Love this pick. Incredible value in the second round. And in the third round, they got a great wide receiver in Devin Duvernay, who I can think be a contributor. And then they got a guy that I wanted for the Dallas Cowboys, Justin Madubuike, a defensive lineman. I love the nastiness that he brings. He's got a lot of upside. Now, what you saw on tape and compare it to the stats, his measurables didn't always live up to his production. His production was a little lackluster, I guess you could say. But I think he's got phenomenal upside, a little bit of character concerns. But again, the Ravens drafting defense in general, you got to feel good about it. And my favorite pick of all that they had was in the 6th round. I think they got a late round steal, drafting a savant in the slot, wide receiver James Prochet out of SMU. These guys just have weapons all around now. Hollywood Brown, James Prochet, Devin Duvernay, and in the backfield, you got that dude, Lamar Jackson, to go with those 2 running backs, J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram. I love what the Ravens did. They were the number 1 seed going into last year. This year, man, I know the Chiefs will be tough, but God, you got to love how the Ravens have handled this draft, getting great value. And so that's my winner, the Ravens. The rich get richer. Congratulations to the Baltimore Ravens. If you agree with me, if you think I'm totally off base, if you think your team won, let me know in the comments. You tell me who you think won in the AFC as far as who had the best draft class and why. All right, everybody, it's that time of the show where we bring a pal, friend of the show on to discuss what everyone's talking about, The Last Dance on ESPN. It's about my boy, Michael Jordan, his royal airness. So at this time, we welcome my man, Paul Liakis, to the show. Paul, how you doing, man? And more importantly, with everything that's going on in this documentary, it's, we're getting a break from the No Sports Life with this documentary. What are your thoughts on it? How do you feel? I know a lot of people are talking about Jordan in today's era. What are your thoughts on it? How do you think he would fare playing in this generation in the NBA?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Brett, thanks for having me on the show for one. So yeah, I think this documentary obviously it's sweeping the nation. It's got all the hot takes coming out, and I think in a world where we don't have sports right now, this was much needed. I think everyone can agree they're very happy ESPN pushed up this documentary to get it released early. And as we've seen, some of these hot takes where people are saying Jordan obviously still would have been the best player in today's NBA. I wouldn't necessarily even call it a hot take because I think it's just a fact. Michael Jordan, we're coming to realize even some of the people that are in the younger generation that he was just the best player in the world, and there was no one like him before Michael Jordan. There's been no one like him since. And you look at some of the scoring statistics that he was putting up in those Bulls years, especially early on, before he actually won the titles. I mean, we're talking he had seasons where he was scoring 35, 37 a game. You got to think in today's NBA where defense is maybe not as much of a priority as it was back then, that you got to think Jordan's going to put up at least 40, maybe 45 a game some seasons. I'm not saying for his whole career, but he's going to figure out a way to adjust to today's NBA. He's going to figure out how to shoot the free ball. He'll shoot it at least a 37, 38% clip. And he clearly would still just have been the best player in the league. He would have, I think one thing people realize about Jordan is he did whatever it took to be the best. And if that meant he needed to play defense or shoot the two ball better or shoot free throws or figure out a way to shoot 3-pointers, Jordan was going to do it and be the best. And I think that that's one thing a lot of people are getting from this documentary is just how he was different in that competitive mode. So
For sure, man. And you know what? That's why you're a friend of the show, man. You make a lot of sense. You come on here, you just say the right thing. I knew we would be in agreement on this one. I'm right there with you. He'd still be the man. We can debate how many points he would score a game, sure. But I have no doubt it would be titles, it would be scoring titles, it would be MVPs. And, I know something that we've talked about in the past is how he plays defense. Great two-way player. Everyone wants to talk about how good Kawhi is, and he is. I don't want to take anything away from him as a two-way player. He's not Michael Jordan on the defensive end. Michael would show that. Michael just had a different tenacity than everybody else. And I think we would see that. Sadly, we can't. But it is fun to talk about. It's fun that we have this documentary, like you said, released earlier than anticipated during this coronavirus nonsense, because that's what it is. It's nonsense. Let's go. Give me my sports back. But thankfully, this documentary is out. I want to thank you, Paul, for coming on to the show. Please feel free. Come back anytime. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about because I trust you. You got the right opinions. And for everybody else out there, please leave something in the comments below. Tell us why we're right, or if you want to just show that you were raised improperly and give a wrong opinion, please feel free to tell us in the comments there too. And that's it. While The Last Dance has been a great distraction and a great supplement for no live sports, there really is no supplement for live sports. We need them back, and we're getting a lot of reports around several different leagues. The NHL, NBA, and now the MLB are all rushing for plans to finish, or in the MLB's case, begin their season. In Major League Baseball just they proposed a very interesting idea for their 2020 Major League Baseball season. They are proposing a 3-division race. No AL, no NL. It's just 3 divisions, 10 teams per division, and they would play in Arizona, Texas, or Florida. You would only play your divisional foes. You would only play in that one state. I don't know what ballparks they would use. I don't know. Could fans go? I'm in Florida. I'd love to go to some of these games. It's a very interesting, a very bold strategy. It looks like they're only going to do 100 games, which is fine. They have too many games in the regular season anyway. And at this point, just give me some baseball. We all need it. We could knock Major League Baseball for what they're doing, but I love it. It's different. I don't know if I love the divisions. Big thing is they got right Red Sox, Yankees, still in the same division. As a Red Sox fan, if you would have taken them out, if you would have had the Yankees and the Red Sox in different divisions, I'm off board. No, thank you. But I know a lot of baseball fans, a lot of people in baseball are traditionalists. They may not love this, but I sure do. Again, we can argue who's in what division, but at this point, just give me baseball. What do you guys think? Do you like this division format? Do you have alternative ideas? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll see what happens. Just give us our live sports back. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Brett Batchelder Show. Shout out again to my boy Paul Liakis for coming on and joining us. If you like the video, give us the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Brett Batchelder Show on YouTube. You can follow us on our other social media links right here. That way you don't miss any of our content. And just until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you on down the road.